change. Again, this dugout will change. Normally, a dugout is separated by the players' tunnel. This one isn't. But we are rebuilding the inside of the main stand as well. I think they start doing it this when the season finishes. And the tunnel's going to move. The tunnel will move. The dugout will probably look a little bit different. But this is the paddock enclosure. It's always been known as the paddock. Behind you is the main stand, which is where those wooden seats are. This stand was built in 1906. And those wooden chairs behind you have been there since 1906. When I tell you this building is over 100 years old, that's proof. Those seats have been there since then, okay? So just over your right shoulder, the director's box, and that's where our club owners and officials and guests would sit. That is where, of course, we'll have the VIPs. We had Pele there last week. We've had Gary Barlow there, ladies. Gary Barlow was there. Daniel Craig is probably the most famous Liverpool fan we have. But we've got so many. We've got Liam Neeson, we've got Clive Owen, we've got Mike Myers, we've got Samuel L. Jackson, the list goes on. I never watched the game up there. Samuel L. Jackson filmed 51st State. In America it's known as Formula 51. He watched a few games here over that period of time. He's here for a couple of months. So he watched quite a few Liverpool games. That is why he's a fan. He became a fan by being and spending time here with us, okay? To your left is the Anfield Road end. How many of you don't support Liverpool again? Hands up. I know your team is. I like them anyway, so you're all right. Anyone else? Yep. Sorry? Gillingham, okay. Anywhere else?
That's the first one.
Dundee. What was the score yesterday? Is it? I totally wanted to watch that as well, but unlucky. Anyone else? Queen of the South. Cool. Anyone else? Okay, so.
I support Galatasaray.
Okay, I like them as well. A good team, very good team, very good team. So anyone else? We like all those teams. They're all right. Arsenal, yeah. Be fine if it was Man United. Then we'd have a problem. So 3,000 seats occupied there, the lower left-hand corner. So whenever you come here, if you're supporting club, if you ever did, that's where you sit, the lower left-hand corner. We fill out 3,000 seats to most of those clubs in the Premier League, some in the Championship as well. It's roughly 7% of the entire attendance that we have here. That used to be called the Kremlin Road end, that stand. That's now called the Centenary stand. We celebrated our 100th birthday and we renovated that stand. Of course, that's where we're going to have the kit launch tomorrow, so that's why they're setting up on that side. So those boxes in the middle, those glass boxes are our hospitality. They cost around 80 grand. £80,000 a season for those boxes. For 2 years, you pay that per season. Some belong to some of the players, other do belong to the companies that are below. So that is where a lot of our money, you have to get in.
Hooray for the toddler! Woohoo! You got to walk on the grass.
So, that
do that.
Brings in a lot of money. Hospitality, yeah? A lot of money. Just on the other side, I need no introduction. What side is that, man?
Top end.
Famous cop. Okay? So, what we're going to do, the next part of the tour is we're going to sit behind the goal in the cop and then we're going to finish the tour down there. But for now, you can get some pictures here, guys. And then very soon we're going to head along here. Has anybody got any questions at all about anything?
We named it after a hill in South Africa. On this hill, about 300 men lost their lives in battle during the Boer War. So Liverpool decided, in memory of those men, to take our biggest stand, Waterwreck Road End, and rename it Spion Cop in 1928. When we did that, we also put in a concrete floor and a roof. It wasn't this roof, but we put in a roof. We never had seats though. If you came to the game, you would stand up for the entire game. We could fit 28,000 people inside the cop, but we had no seats in it. Now it's only 12,500. Every now and again though, if you played a big game, a big opponent, you might have more than 28,000 people on the cop. One game I think about in particular, we played Saint Etienne, the French team, in the quarter-final of the Champions League, 1977. Inside the cop, we had 38,000 people, just here. If you can't imagine 38,000, take out one seat, one of the place for 3 adults. That's roughly about the same number of people. For 38,000 people, you know how many toilets we had?
4.
How many? 4? That's the 4. I think you are bucking the palace. Oh, 2. 2 toilets. One was over there, one was over there. So if you came to the cop and you were in the middle, you had 19,000 people either side of you. You couldn't get to a toilet. And that's all I'm going to say about that. At the back, people fainted quite a bit up there. It got quite hot at times. If you're up there and you fainted, you had to get down here somehow. So what we'd do is lift you up and crowd surf you over the top, just roll you over the heads. That's the only way of getting down. If you look how far back it is though, look how steep it is as well. You always gather speed. By the time we're down here, don't 35 miles an hour, no problem. So to faint on the top wasn't ideal. One last thing, in that corner over there, we had a caged off area called the boys' pen. It was for younger supporters, for kids. The cop was too unsafe for under 16s, so they go in the boys' pen together, and they pay a little bit less to go in as well. Sometimes the boys in there, they want to be in the cop with the adults, so what they do is climb the fence while the game is going on. What also happened is, because the tickets are so cheap, some of the kids were 6'5", full on moustache, they would sneak into the boys' pen and climb the fence while the game is going on. So that's what happened on the cop. In summary, it was quite unsafe, it was quite unhygienic, it was quite tiring, I won't say but to watch football, there was no better place on earth. It was the best stand in the world at the time. Unfortunately now, we had to knock it down, we had to put the seats in. We got told, after what happened at Hillsborough in 1989, we had 5 years to make our stadium all seated. So in 94, we had our last game with the Cop stood up. Does anyone know who we played? No. We played a team called Norwich, and we let them win 1-0. 18 months later, this stand was unveiled. From front to back, 12,500 people now come to the Cop. It is a little bit smaller than the old Cop. It might not be as fun, sat down, but for the entire game, any one of you come here and you'll be safe for 90 minutes, which is priceless really. And the big nights, the big games, this stand, the stadium, it does still make quite a nice. I still support the team quite well, in my own bias, of course. But before we finish off on that note, of the museum, Isaac, anyone got any questions about the Cop or the stadium? Or Sean?
Yes.